lot of times I wake up in the morning not knowing where I'm headed or what the day will bring, but not this morning. This morning I knew exactly where I wanted to go. You see, there's this cave. It's up high on the side of a mountain, not too far from the house. It's been calling my name for a while. I've seen it before, but I've never tried to get to it. Today, that's going to change. I don't know if I'll make it, but I'm sure going to try. I'm packing a lunch, everything I need to brew a hot cup of coffee, and I'm making a day of it.
Onward and upward. That way.
I used to come up here quite a bit, but really, it's quite a long ride. There's a little 2-track road that goes up there, and really it's been kind of too hot. You come up this side canyon over here, you drive by an old homestead, and the temperature, I think it was only about 49 degrees, maybe 50 degrees. So it's beautiful, beautiful out. Yesterday it rained part of the day, so everything's pretty fresh. It didn't rain that hard, but we did get a little moisture, which it's amazing what this desert can do with a little bit of moisture. So I brought Bonnie and I brought all these male dogs. I'm gonna go up this side canyon and I'm gonna hang a game camera. There's also a cave up here, and if I can get to it, it's way up on the side of the mountain. I've seen it before riding by, but I've never been to it. So I'm gonna try to get up there to it. I've been smoking these cigars. I try not to smoke, but maybe 2 a day. Actually, they help me with my ADD, because I do have a touch of ADD. It reminds me of my dad's dad, my grandpa. My grandpa, he was an old-fashioned guy, wore khaki dickies, I guess. It's pants and shirts. Always had I called it a derby hat. I'm not sure what it was. Always had a derby hat, wore Brogan boots. Big man, real big man. I guess he took advantage of my mom and dad when they were young. So my mom didn't like to have anything to do with him. Thing I remember is when my first kid was born, would have been his great-grandchild. He showed up at the house, just showed up at the house. Said, I heard I had a great-grandkid born. I took Amber, my oldest daughter, she's 44 years old now. I took her out, she was just a little bitty thing. And he held her and looked at her and got in his truck and drove off. I never seen him with a full cigar. He always had just a little part of a cigar hanging out of his mouth. And I don't have a lot of memories about him. Years ago, my mom was gone out of town. Somewhere, she was gone, but he came by the house. We lived on a ranch out there in the middle of nowhere, really. And he came by, I was in 9th grade, I guess. And I went and helped him load the backhoe up and boom it down and everything. And then he took me back to Dad. Told my dad, he said, he's the best help I've had in a long time. He was a rough old dude. I mean, rough. Kind of a funny story. I guess, I don't know, I probably shouldn't share this, but I will. When he passed away and they had a funeral, he had a whole nother family that came in from Arizona. Showed up at the funeral. My dad had some half brothers and stuff he didn't even know about. Oh, that's something. It was different back in those days. We're gonna go right up through there and then turn right in that big canyon. It's been years since I've been up here. I don't know if you've seen my Geronimo Cave video. If you haven't, I'll put a link in the description down here, down below the video. But I explained in that video that rumor had it that the cavalry or the soldiers ran Geronimo into that cave. And they never could find him. And they think, the rumor has it that there's an exit to that cave on this side of the mountain somewhere. Now, I've never heard of anybody finding it, but it's a good story. They call these mountains the Robledos. On the other side, back over that way, on the other side is the Rio Grande River. And an old trail that came way out of Mexico to Santa Fe. They called it, I believe they called it the Camino Real del Norte, the highway of the north, or road of the north. And when the Spaniards were in here, they had a camp down at the foot of this mountain. And there was an old priest, I think priest or padre, whatever you want to call him. But I think he died over there. And his name was Robledo. So they named these mountains the Robledos. We're gonna travel up this canyon, see if I can find that cave. Ooh, I think I see it. I don't think there's any way I can get to it. Maybe, I'll see. Right there. It's where I want to put it. It'll shine, it'll shine. It'll point down into this little canyon right here. Anything goes up and down it, I should get a picture of. I'm gonna put it on video mode too. Let's see where I can tie this mule up at. She's getting a little heavy on me. She don't want to go very much. I don't know what her problem is. Being lazy. She's never been lazy before. See, I can go on my Onyx maps and I'll mark this location. You can get the app. And remember, I'm going to add a waypoint right here. Remember, you can use this code right here and save 20%. I love Onyx Maps, and they sponsor me. But they're a good company, and they have a really good product. They even have an icon for it to be a trail camera. Save. Right there, easy as that. Come back in a month. See what we got. We're pretty far in here. I don't think we have to worry about anybody bothering it. I hope not. It's the biggest fear of mine is you leave one of these cameras down, and they're not cheap. And I got it set on video. It'll film a 2-minute video. Worry about people stealing them, but you know, that's a risk you gotta take, I guess. They make these big old boxes you can put on there too. Those dogs are trailing.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Well, I wasn't talking to you.
Okay.
Siri. You're getting like Agnes. You're just gonna sit still while I do my work. I don't have to tie you up. Thing about it, you drop the reins and drop your lead rope. Even if they try to run away, they can't. They keep stepping on it, and they can't hardly get away from you. I say that, but follow me. There's that cave hole. Right up there. Not real sure how I can get to it, but I think I can. Maybe not on Bonnie, but on foot. I want to look in it. It's just, I remember seeing it years ago and always thinking I wanted to get up there and see what's in it. So I think if I continue up, stay up out of the bottom, because the bottom's rougher than snot, and kind of edge out, I might be able to just tie Bonnie up to that tree, and then I'll hike my old fat butt up there. Oh, easy. Maybe it's the one where Geronimo came out, you think? I'm gonna have to go see that bluff right there, that fall. Kind of get around that way. Maybe if I got all the way up and got on top, it'd be easier just to climb down to it. I don't know. I'll have to see. But I'm going to see. I'm going to look in. Going to lead her right up through there and then tie her to the tree right over there, and then I'm going to hike across and up. Maybe we'd be better off to go up one more ledge. cool right now, but you still got to be careful when you're putting your hands in handholds. Make sure you don't stick it where a rattlesnake is. Let's go look at that cave. There it is, right there. Been a lot of fires in there. Well, that's pretty cool. Be a good hideout for sure. You could see everybody coming from miles around. But you could sure see them coming before they even got here, and you'd have a lot of time to make a plan. What are you guys worried about? What are you worried about? Mr. Rusty Boy. Comes a helicopter. I hereby name this Victorio Cave. The other side is Geronimo's Cave. This side is Victorio Cave. It's not much of a cave, but it's not bad. It wasn't as bad to get here as I thought it would be. Going down might be a little bit harder. What's up, Rusty? My gosh. No. Come here, old man. Old booger. He's the granddaddy of all these dogs, except Jack and Bosco and Bean. He's the daddy of Uno, Timmy, and Al. All right, see if I can get off this mountain. Eat a little lunch. Maybe even have a little coffee. I'm prepared this time. Still don't have my packaging done, but when I get it done, I'm gonna offer it to everybody. My coffee, that is. Man. Wonder what the poor people in the big cities are doing today. Hey! Quit it! You see, I'm the leader of this pack. I don't allow no arguing. Bean! have today? Oh, we have fajita meat. You know, I was right on the other side of this mountain about 2 months ago. There was a lady that was taking care of her grandkid, or grandson. And they have to take the kid down, leave him down there to catch the bus. A lion came in and killed her little dog. She said she threw stuff at him and everything, or her. And the lion didn't care, just sat there and killed her dog, drug it off, and ate it. Well, she got my number. And she called me that night. And I told her, I said, I'll be there tomorrow morning. And I took the dogs up there the next morning. And we trailed that little lion up, caught it, and I dispatched of it. It was real skinny, real poor. It was a sub-adult, probably about 5 months old, 6 months old maybe. I mean, I hated that I had to do that, really, for such a young lion. But it was getting bad habits. Killing some lady's dog in their yard. And then she was scared to death to even go down to the bus stop to leave her kid. So I shot it, and I took it to the Game and Fish. I didn't want to tag it. It was a depredation. I didn't have a depredation permit, but I didn't have time to go get one either. I took it to the Game and Fish, and they took it, and they said I did the right thing. So they were really, really nice. They had no problems with me doing that. That was just right on the other side of this mountain. There's a couple houses in there, but they're behind a locked gate that goes along the side of the river there. This is almost as comfortable as my chair at home. I quit watching regular television. I guess I call regular television, well, I quit watching cable and everything probably, it had to be 10 years ago. And then I quit, I still watch Netflix. Like, I'll watch Tulsa King. I like that. And I'll watch some football games. But as far as, and I'll watch a documentary from time to time. But most of the time I watch YouTube. You know, I make YouTube videos and I like to watch them. There's a guy on YouTube called Dry Creek Wrangler School. And he's younger than I am. He's an older cowboy. And he fits the part. He looks just like a cowboy, just like you'd picture what an old cowboy should look like. And I watch him and listen to him, and he made a video not too long ago about a Robert Service poem, The Men Who Don't Fit In. And I remember that poem was something I read years ago. And it made a lot of sense to me. It kind of fit what I do. And he also, you know, he's kind of a philosopher type guy. And he has some really good content. He also does some stuff with mules and horses and things like that. It's called Dry Creek Wrangler School. Pretty cool dude. And then there's another YouTube channel, and it's a young couple. Real nice looking young couple. They ride mules, and they hunt and fish and go out in the woods and stuff. And it's called Mountain Built. And I don't know if it's B-U-I-L-T or just B-L-T, Mountain Built, I think. I'll put links to them down below. But they do some pretty cool things. They go out on mules, and they're a young couple, and it's pretty neat to see a young couple doing stuff like this, you know. Not many of us left. Yeah, that Robert Service poem, The Men Who Don't Fit In. Always even when I was a kid, I was always getting out and going places. Always on some kind of adventure. Man, that's a good cigar. What is it called? I have no idea what that says. Las Ole. Ándale pues. Es muy bueno. That was a good day. I enjoyed that.
Every ride starts the same. Just me, my mules, and the open country ahead, and a few hound dogs. But the destination is never the whole story. Out here, it's the journey that matters. The miles we cover, the tracks we find, the silence of the desert broken only by the hoofbeats and the wind. It's a life most folks can't imagine, but for me, it's the only way to live. I gotta get out. Today, we're heading out to a place I've been to a few times before. It's an oasis in the desert, a place that holds water. Around here, we call them tanakas. It's a bowl in the rocks that holds water, and this is a big one. I've never been here before when it didn't have water in it. I'm going to hang a couple game cameras, so later on we can come back and see what moves around out here in the desert. And of course, I'm going to take my hound dogs. You never know what kind of track we might hit.
I got a new head stall coming. Onward and upward. Here we go. My name's Brett. I run the Born 100 Years Too Late YouTube channel. I ride around with a bunch of hounds and on my good mule, Bonnie. I came up here to a place I haven't been in a long, long time. But there's what we call a tanaka. I want to go up there and I want to put a game camera. She got to poop. She can't walk and poop at the same time. Look at this old building right here. Ain't that something? And then this, what is this? It's not a well. I don't have any idea. If you guys have any ideas, put them in the comments down below. There's the only female dog I got right there, Clara. Clara! But like I said before, she identifies as a boy. Her pronouns are he, him. So, I don't have any problems with that. I just let her go with all the boy dogs. This country has seen some better days. Tell you what, it is dry, dry, dry. We had a rain here about 4 days ago. And it rained real hard all day long, but it's a little late in the year to do any good. I want to see if there's any game up in this country. It's all wilderness, except they have these designated roads that you can drive down, but you can't, supposedly you're not supposed to drive off the roads. And then once we turn up here, this road just goes down here and kind of dies. And then we'll turn and go up this big old nice canyon. It's beautiful. Gosh, dang, they're fresh. Driving me crazy. Somebody came down this canyon. I seen the tracks earlier going up. Then I just seen them coming back down. Looked to be about 3 days old to me. You can tell by the way the toe mark pulls the dirt up in the back. So if you're going that way, that toe goes down, pulls the dirt back, means you're going that way. To me, that tread looks like a Border Patrol agent. I've seen those before. We're not too far from Mexico here, so Border Patrol is pretty prevalent. They got cameras out too. I wonder with Trump becoming president, if they're going to increase the Border Patrol presence. If they're going to get more funding, more agents. I think, or maybe they won't have to worry about it if they get that wall built. They got a lot of it built, but there's big gaps in it, big gaps. I've worked with lots of Mexicans and when I say Mexicans, I mean Mexicans from Mexico. And the majority of them are real good people, real kind of country folks, you know, at least the ones I worked with. But dadgummit, they need to get here legally. Maybe it's just a pain, I don't know. That's something drawn on those rocks right there. Gotta tie this mule up and I gotta climb in there and check. I had a pretty well-known outfitter give me a hard time about how long my lead rope was. He said, man, I'd get in too much trouble if I had that much rope. But I tell you what, when you're looking for a place to tie up and like the branches come way out like this, it's nice to have all that rope because you can reach in and tie them back in there. And having long rope makes it easier. Now let's go see what's in this little overhang. It's almost like a cave. I've rode up through here a bajillion times before in the past, and I don't think I ever got off and looked in that thing. Not that I can remember anyway, but that don't mean much. Just bird poop. Oh well, I had to look. I think we ride up and over and around, and then we'll get to that big Tanaka. Wonder why he put a lock on it. I mean, you can still open it on that side. You just have to take the wires apart. I don't know why he would lock it. Doesn't make sense to me. Guess they were fixing fence, building fence. There's no new fences, but they're probably fixing that old fence. That's a bunch of stays that they cut, and then somebody hauled those T-posts in here. That big Tanaka, I think, is right up here around the corner. I hope. I got to get up on top to go across. This box is in here too. How come I don't remember any of this? Come on. Don't believe we can get up through there. I gotta go around again. There it is. Ha ha. That's a cool spot right there. I'll tie her up to that tree right over there. Find a good place to hang this camera. There's almost like a little old cow trail that goes down through here. Game trail, and then you can see there's some other trails on the other side. So I bet a lot of game uses this little place. Wait until I show you this Tanaka down here. I've never been to it when it was dry. I might put a camera right here. It just looks good. And then see. And then probably put another one right up there.
Well, since I brought two cameras, I figured I better put the other one up on top where the actual water was. I thought there'd be water down in that bottom. But I looked over the edge here and there was two big pools still of water down in the bottom, or Tanakas. The bottom camera I set on video, and this top camera takes really good pictures. So I figured I'd set this one up here, tie it to this wire where it was pointed down, where anything that came into the water would come out through that little chute and I'd get a picture of it. One thing about it out here in this desert, and this is the Chihuahuan Desert, water is scarce. So any place that you find that has water that stays most of the year is an attractant. And if you put cameras up on it, surely you'll get a picture of just about everything that's in the country. Over a period of time, that is.
Gotta have me some coffee. It's a long ride back. Didn't forget this time. I've only forgot once. Haven't got my packaging yet, but soon I'm gonna have my own brand of coffee. Born 100 years too late coffee. I like my coffee. Promise, it won't come in a pill bottle. Woo! Ha ha ha! That'll put hair on your elbows. You know, how many of you guys watched the Tyson-Paul fight? Jake Paul, Mike Tyson? I watched it. I was in Texas. I went to see my daughter and son-in-law and my 5 grandkids. You know, after the fight, they kept talking about how Tyson, oh, he's 58 years old. His legs have given out. His legs are giving out. I don't hardly believe that. I think he's not as tough as he once was. But I think they had an agreement. He never did throw an uppercut. And that bite in that glove, I think that was to keep him from knocking that guy out. I mean, I don't have anything against that Paul guy. I mean, he's a promoter and a money maker. That's all he was in it for. He's not a real boxer. But then all the major media and everything, they're going with that same scenario. That Tyson's legs, he just doesn't have any legs anymore. He's too old. He's 58. I'm 63 years old. I mean, I think my legs would have held out better than that. And I'm not near the shape Tyson was in. And I mean, did you see his training videos when he was punching the bag and sparring with that guy with the mitts on? I don't care. Tyson, if he's 58 years old, he's still a tough sucker. And he was pulling punches. He never did throw an uppercut. And I think they had an agreement of some sort. He made $20 million. I don't think 58 years old, unless he was still sick. You know, they said he got sick earlier. And that could have had something to do with it, I guess. But I think that bite in the glove, you know, they said, Bean, get out of the way. They say that biting is like a fixation he has. But I think he was biting that glove to keep from the frustration of not being able to really whack on that guy. What do you think, Al? I'm 63 years old. I think my legs are in better shape than that, and I don't even fight. And there's no way I'd get in the ring with Tyson. Anyway, this is a pretty remote place. It's a good place. I got 2 cameras up. What do you think? We should give it a month, maybe 2 months? Come back and check them. I hope I don't get my cameras stolen. I always worry about that, but like I've said before, it's just kind of the chance you got to take. Kind of got a late start. I brought my headlamp. This is that Olight headlamp. It's a goodie. And they sponsor me. So if you guys need a headlamp or a flashlight or anything, go to Olight. Also, Onyx Maps. I'll get out my phone and I'll mark this place on my Onyx Maps. And not that I'll have a hard time getting back to it because I know where this is at. But it'll be neat to look at it, you know, bird's eye view from above. They've got a satellite feature on Onyx that works really cool. It's almost as good as Google Earth. It's not quite as clear as Google Earth, but it's pretty good. Oh, man. Peaceful solitude. I was hunting with an outfitter one time. We were up on the side of the mountain. We had some hound dogs down below and they were trailing. We were just sitting there waiting to see which way they'd go and what they were going to do. And this has been a few years ago. And I knew he loved coffee. And I asked him, I said, "You want a hot cup of coffee?" He said, "You bring a thermos?" I said, "No." I said, "I can make us a cup of coffee." "You can make a cup of coffee up here?" He said, "You going to build a fire and everything?" I said, no, I just got my little burner here. I said, "I'll just make us a cup of coffee." "Oh, man, that would be great." He said, he was tickled. I should have my coffee brand out, packaged, and available to everybody for by Black Friday. Maybe today's Black Friday. I don't even know when Black Friday is. I don't pay much attention to that stuff. but it'll be available. I'll put links in my future videos. Maybe when this video comes out, if I already have it, then I can put a link. I think also the company that I'm getting it from, I'm not grinding my own beans, I'm getting it from a company. I think they're gonna have like a subscription service where you pay so much a month and they'll ship you the coffee every month. You know, if that's something you want, you might try it first, you know, buy a bag, try it, make sure you like it. And then if you do, that subscription service would be great, and it would help me out, you know, and help out the channel. I bet there's not many people get back into this little canyon here. When they're fixing this fence or building fence, I mean, that's about the only time, or gathering cattle if they got some cattle turned out in here. You're a good old boy. No, 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 no. Always save a little bit of water to rinse out your cup. Let's see, I pull up my Onyx maps, put on my old man glasses, add to folder, camera sights. There it is. Ha! Let's get out of here, Rusty. We won't go the same way we came in. We're gonna go around this canyon, over, and hit another canyon going out and down. Here we go! Booger! Let's go! This is a good time to bring up what I've been thinking about here lately.
Out here in the wild, where the trails are rough and the mountains don't forgive, I find my peace. These lands remind me of who I am, where the air is clean and the challenges are real. The years may slow me down, but they also teach me. Staying healthy just isn't about surviving. It's about thriving in the country I love.
Look at this. I got a new head stall sent to me by one of the watchers or followers. Follows the YouTube channel. Neil McLean sent me this. Thank you, Neil. This is the first time I use it. I'm going to rig it up today and see how it works. Thank you very much. Oh. Just like that. I'm going to turn this around. Hey! There we go. Haha, look at that. I don't even have to adjust it. Oh man, you're styling, Bonnie. Styling. I'm gonna have to trim you a bridle path. Wait. Wait. Yup. Here we go. Come on, here we go. Onward and upward.
Good morning. I'm Brett. If you're new here, and this is the Born 100 Years Too Late YouTube channel. Today, I'm going up to some higher mountains up here. I put a game camera up here. I don't know, it's been about a month ago. I'm gonna go up here and check it. Riding my good mule Bonnie. Sporting her new head stall. And got my hound dogs. It's been a long Thanksgiving week. I've had company, haven't been able to get out. The hounds are as fresh as they've ever been. The mornings are cool. It's only getting to be, I think the high today is only gonna be around 65. Bonnie's being real lazy today. I don't know what's wrong with her. Can't tell if something's bothering her or if she just You know, these mules, they do some pretty crazy things sometimes. They get an idea in their head. Oh well. Nah, I think she's just testing me a little bit. She keeps looking back towards the truck. I haven't wore spurs on her. Except that one time, just because I didn't need them. I hate to wear spurs because I get off and hike, and when you hike with spurs, it's a pain. You get them caught on things and trip and fall and everything. But I had to wear them on Agnes all the time. I never wore them on Jet. Anyway, next time I'll break out the spurs. It's like a good friend of mine said. I come riding over the hill and he looked at me. He said, you don't wear spurs on that mule. I said, no, he don't need them. He's a good mule. He said, spurs just make a good mule better. I kind of believe that, I guess. A lot of tracks coming up in here. Or up that other little 2-track road, there's a lot of tracks. There's none going up this side canyon that I can tell. A lot of quail hunters out this time of year. I just hope my camera's still there. It should be. Sure enough. There it is. Still there. I'll be dang. Wonder what I got. Let me try. I just brought an extra card. I'm not going to take the camera out, and I don't have a reader with me. So I'll probably just those dogs are trailing something. I'll know what it is because I got my camera here. I'll just trade out the card, put my other card in, leave that camera there, take that card home, and you guys will see what was on the camera right now. Tell me, was it a jaguar? How about a Sasquatch? Probably a fox or a bobcat that they're trailing. I would almost wager. Let's do it. There's Victorio's lookout right up there. Those hounds went up that canyon. I gotta work my way around and go up and work my way on up. I know it gets rough up there, and right around that bluff right there, I need to lead. I just don't trust the sidewall of the little trail. I'm afraid it's gonna break off. Then I might be able to ride for a ways, and then I'm going to have to get off and lead again, probably going up towards the top. Depends on what we find. It's pretty rough old country, really. Think I can top out right up through there? And if I do top out and I'm on top, can I stay on top? Is there not another little canyon over there? That's what would suck. I think we need to go back down. We're going to get around this corner and it's going to get steep on us. Steeper. Let's head on down to the bottom. Don't get on me. I don't think it's a good idea to try to top out right there. I got all my dogs back. They ran a little fox or something up this canyon. I think I'll sit down, take a break, and this is a good time to bring up what I've been thinking about here lately. So, let's do it. Go on. Whew! I climbed out of here one time before.
I was on Jet Johnson. I'm afraid if I top out right here that there's just going to be another canyon on the other side and I won't be able to get through. This last week has been really bittersweet. Thanksgiving week, and I had my whole family together. 6 grandchildren, both my daughters, my niece and her husband, my little sister, and my mother and father, which are both 90 years old. And then the 26th was my birthday, and I turned 63 years old. But the day before my birthday is the 25th. And that was my oldest sister's birthday. She is 10 years older than me. And she's been gone now for a few years. She passed away. She never really took very good care of herself. But then on that same day, my next sister, older, she was younger than my oldest, and in between me and her, passed away. And she had a really rough life. She had epilepsy, and she was in a care facility. And I never really thought about old age or anything like that. I know I'm getting older. I've slowed down. Like I said in other videos, that chair is a lot harder to get out of in the morning now. I also, this last year I've been in the hospital 3 or 4 times. I don't like to talk about it. I got a weird heartbeat, and I get into AFib every now and then. Back in 2001, 2002, they went in my heart and they did an ablation. Oh, and this last time, I had another one. Go on. I had another one last year, earlier this year. That's another thing. Been having these like little minor seizure type things. And it's affected my memory. Just certain things are blank on me. So they took me in and they did tests on my head and everything. They want me to spend like 4 days in this little facility with something hooked up to my head, and so they could monitor my brain waves. I got news for them. There's not a lot there. Booger, what in the world were you doing? Oh man. And I've had friends of mine that have passed away. Got old friends that are gone, and I got a friend of mine that's in a wheelchair, and it gets you to thinking. And I've been really blessed. I can still get out here and do this. It doesn't hurt me. Matter of fact, when I'm climbing around in these rocks and these mountains, and I'm straining myself, that's when my heart feels the best. There's no pain or anything. And I think it's because that weird heartbeat that I have, I get to going and my heart pump, 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 pump. It quits skipping that beat and doing that deal that it does. And then in that song, I heard that song, Don't Let the Old Man In. Toby Keith sang. When he sang it there on live, it was really sad, really, because he was dying of the cancer. And I got to thinking, what do you do? What can you do to try to keep from letting the old man in, I hear people with knee replacements and double hip replacements and all this stuff, and I've been really lucky. I've never, my knees hurt and my hips hurt, and then I have my sciatic nerve or whatever bothers me, but it goes away. I thought, what can you do? And I know I've talked about it before. I've gained, 35, 40 pounds in the last few years. and I got this email. I don't have it with me right now, but I will do a voiceover right now of what that email says.
Watched your latest video last night and wanted to share some insights from my experience. I watch and like all of them. First, I am 15 years older than you, so I am looking through older eyes and thinking from my own fertility. I was watching you climb and crawl around in those rocks as you went up and down the hill. In my mind, I said, Brett, pretty soon you aren't going to be able to do that without a walking stick. I no more than thought those words, and then you fell. I am betting it is not the first time you have fallen. Well, that was timely thinking and a provincial fall as far as me making my point. I worry about you and have mentioned it to you before. You are out there alone. Pretty sure you knew that. Nowadays, you have access to a lot of gadgets and satellites that let you keep in touch with your bride. You can and do let her know that you are safe, but if you hit your head when you fall, all bets are off. She is not going to know if you don't have service, got busy, and forgot it has happened, or if you are laying unconscious needing help. A bit later in the video, you gave your take on the Tyson-Paul fight, and you didn't attribute Tyson's performance to his legs. You even said you thought your legs would hold up to 8 two-minute rounds. Not sure I agree with that, but I don't know for sure either, so I will let that one alone. In a past video not long ago, you mentioned that you had put on 35 pounds. You talked about losing it or getting it off. Maybe you will. Putting on weight and bulk comes with age, to all of us. Some people can get it off, but if they do, they then have the constant battle to keep it off, and not many do. Mike Root has a reputation for his physical toughness. Even he appears to have bulked up. I watched your interview with him several times and more than once thought that if you used a donut for bait, you would have a fair chance at snaring him. That is humor, not snark. I know for sure that he would be very hard to turn loose of. Like you, he is hard as nails, but he too can fall and hit his head. Enough of the age and weight stuff. I wait for your videos with anticipation and watch them all. I appreciate you and admire your efforts. Please be careful and think twice about falling, and always take a safe route. Happy Thanksgiving, Rick.
So there. That's a long-time viewer. He's watched most all of my videos. He's been following me for a long, long time. And basically telling me that I need to slow down. I need to be careful because I'm up here by myself all the time. I got to think, what can I do? What can I do? So then you start looking at diets and you think, how can I, do I need to lose weight? And how can I lose weight the best? So you hear about carnivore, you hear about keto, you hear about, going vegan and everything. And I've talked to my wife about it, and then my youngest daughter, she always pays attention to diet, and she's really into stuff like that. And we kind of decided that just going on a whole food diet, don't worry about carbs, don't worry about all that crap. I mean, stay away from processed sugar or sugar, but eat a whole food diet. So like right now, this is steel cut oats with a little bit of protein powder in it and some berries and some milk and butter. It's good too. So I'm going to do my best to stick to this. And you guys will get to see the progress. If anything happens, if I lack discipline and I fall off, I'll let you guys know. One thing about it, I'm honest here. It is what it is, So yeah, that's that in some form of exercise. I get quite a bit of exercise climbing up and down these rocks and riding this mule and saddling and unsaddling and doing all that too. But I remember years ago, I forget how many years ago, it must have been 10 years ago, I was doing stretches. I was doing like a yoga exercise and lifting some weights. That's the best I ever felt. So I think I might try to incorporate some of that into my week, when I'm not out here riding a mule or going wherever I go, I might try to incorporate that. So if you guys have any ideas, you want to see anything else, just leave it a comment, let me know. This is what I do. This is what, as that guy says, this is what fills my soul, is being out here and seeing the country and putting my dogs on the ground and riding through this country. Yeah, it's I think there was a Tom Bobcat walked around in here quite a bit. Let me know.
if this does good, I'll make some more videos like this, maybe showing you what I do, what, you know, how the progress is going, everything. If you're interested, like I said, I really never felt that old. I mean, I thought about it some, but having both my older sisters pass away and then turning 63 years old, maybe it's a sign. Maybe God's telling me, hey, buddy, you need to take care of yourself. You need to do a little bit better job. I don't drink. You know, I might have, when I go to the mountains and I, by the campfire, I'll have a shot of whiskey or two. Smoke my cigars. I try to only smoke one a day. But you know, that helps me with my ADD. Like that song says, how old would you be if you didn't know the day you were born? I would like to keep doing this till I'm well into my 80s. At least another 20 years. From what I understand from my research, is certain foods cause inflammation in your body. So when you get that inflammation, that's what causes you to, and you know, unless you've had injuries on your knees or hips, that inflammation deteriorates your hips or your bones or your cartilage, whatever it is, your cartilage, whatever it is, and that's what will cause you to get all crippled up. I think that's what they say. I don't know. Bonnie's getting pretty good. I didn't even tie her up. But man, she's being lazy today. Easy, Bonnie.